Chat. I'm back in the setup, chat. I'm back with Bo, chat. You already know the vibes. It's been a minute since I came down here. As you can tell, I got the sniffles. It's fucking cold outside. It ain't the summer no more, chat. I'm gonna tell you that, Kaish. I'm gonna tell you that. It's fucking bricks, nigga. Real shit. Fall weather, nice weather. But it got me sneezing, Kaish. It got a nigga breathing heavy, cuz the asthma kicking in, Kaish. Come on, Kaish. You already know the vibes, but you feel me. We're back in the setup. We got Brady in the bitch. We got Richard Seymour in the bitch. We got the Cowboys helmet in the bitch, but not the Dallas Cowboys. The Hyde Park Cowboys, Kaish. You already know the vibes, man. And lastly, we got the Patriots helmet, Kaish. The Patriots helmet, Kaish. You already know. You already know, chat. But yeah, chat. We back with it. Welcome to another edition of What the Hell's Happening in Sports. It's your boy, the one and only NERO. And we back with another one. This ain't, I'm gonna be on here for a little bit. You feel me? Nothing crazy. It's gonna be a quick live, just a quick one, just to get something out there, because I tell you, Celtics got back on track, but they played the Wizards, so you know how them Wizards are. The Wizards ain't there yet, so the game was over in like the third quarter. No cap. No bullshit. Quite frankly, it was over in the second quarter. For real, for real. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit was tough. That shit was tough. No cap. But yeah, chat. Yeah, we already know. We back with another one. For real, for real. But overall, man, good Celtics game tonight. Got back on the winning track. JB went crazy. We'll get into that. But I'll also get into the 2025 NFL trade deadline, right? Naturally, if you tuned into that, if you heard news on that, shit happened. But the Pats ain't do shit. You feel me? The Pats, typical Pats, didn't do shit. So, we'll get into that, talk about it. You'll feel how I feel about that shit. But shout out to Amari in the chat. Yes, sir, Ski. Yes, sir. Shout out to E. Yes, sir. You already know the vibe. Shout out to the Bay State Media for tuning in, guys. No bullshit. Oh, shit was bugging out. Shout out to the Bay State Media. But yeah, chat, let's get right into it, bro. Let's get right into it. As you can see, the Boston Celtics took care of business very decisively, very BTA, whatever you want to call it. 136-107 final. Again, this game wasn't really a game much. Shit was over early on. Shit was over decisively in the third quarter. But once they got rolling in the second quarter, they didn't look back. No bullshit, man. No bullshit. We'll get to the stats. You already know the vibes. Start with the Wizards. Again, losers go first. Winner goes second. Losers, in this case, are the Washington Wizards. The star of the night for the Washington Wizards was Mr. Alex Sarr. If you don't know who Alex Sarr is, he was the number 2 pick in the 2024 NBA draft, a.k.a. last year. He did well. 31 points, 12 of 20 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks. He's a center. He got to block shots for real, for real. He's fucking at what, like 7'1", 7'2", you know what I'm saying? So, hey, he can do that and he can shoot. He's tough, for real. Like, he's a good young player. I will say for him, from watching him tonight, I was more impressed because he was far more efficient than last year. Last year, he shot under 40% from the field, like 30-something. So efficiency wasn't great, but so far this year, his shooting numbers is great. As you can see, 60% from the field tonight. That's what you want out of a young guy like that. He's a cornerstone. He's a building block of the team. And quite frankly, he should, as the years go on, he should be something. He should actually be a top big man in the league. Real shit. Because he has the potential. But I was impressed by his game today, I will say. I got to show him some love because he was very impressive. Justin Champagnie, former Celtic, had 12 points on the night. 100% from the field, grabbed 5 rebounds, and had a steal. Decent night for him. Nobody else, starters-wise, scored over 10 points. Keyshawn George was the closest. Keyshawn George had a tough shooting night, and he's been a stud for this team so far this year. He's the leading scorer. He finished with 9 points, 3 of 9 shooting, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. Off the bench, Marvin Bagley. Shout out to Marvin Bagley, guys. My nigga Marvin Bagley. Marvin Bagley. Yeah, that nigga, hey, I'm going to tell you the truth, chat, real shit. Marvin Bagley, his NBA career hasn't gone the way as it should, excuse me. The talent is still there. He's mainly a guy who comes off the bench now. I'm not going to hold you. I wouldn't mind seeing Marvin Bagley in a Celtics uniform. For real, for real. I like his game a lot. Even in Sacramento, when he was one of the focal points, he did do okay, but shit, went left after a couple years, and now, it just hasn't been the same for him. But Marvin Bagley's still tough. If given the opportunity, Marvin Bagley's, can be a tough nigga for real, for real. But yeah, 11 points for Marvin Bagley, 5 of 6 on the night. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. And Malachi Branham had 10 points as well off the bench. But yeah, that was basically it. Again, only 107 points for the Washington Wizards tonight. They did have 49 rebounds. Let me just see. Oh yeah, so they tied the Celtics in rebounds, but yeah, they just couldn't capitalize on a lot of shit. So yeah, it is what it is for them. It is what it is. Now let's, the Celtics, we got to get to them, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this nigga Jaylen Brown, 5 30-point games in the last in his last 7 games. This is Jaylen Brown has to put up numbers like this in order for the Celtics to have, chances every night. Jaylen Brown has to elevate his game scoring wise, and he has. He has. Some nights the team, the rest of the team weren't able to capitalize on a win. Other nights when he's had 30-something points, they've gotten the win. So he just has to continue this. But Jaylen Brown, 35 points on the night, 13 of 21 shooting, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. He only played 25 minutes and 53 seconds. So he played under 26 minutes, and he dropped 35 points. Imagine if this was a closer game, JB probably would have gotten closer to 50. Real shit. He was excellent tonight. He really was. Shout out to JB. And I will say the 3-point shooting, even though he didn't have to shoot a lot tonight, was far better. He was 2 of 4 from 3. 2 nights ago against the Jazz where they lost, he was 0 of 9 from 3. So that's far better. Everybody, all the starters scored in double figures. Excuse me. Josh Minott, 21 points. Nigga went crazy. 21 points, 8 of 12 from the field, 5 rebounds, and 3 steals. Active on the boards, active on defense. Would you love you love to see it? Neemias Queta, a double-double, 15 and 12, 15 points, 12 rebounds, 7 of 7 from the field, 100%. He did not miss a shot. The only shot he missed was a free throw. He was 50% from the free throw line. He also added 5 assists, a steal, and a block. Peyton Pritchard, 18 points, 7 to 12 shooting, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. Derek White, 12 points on the night, shot 50% from the field. So he shot well. He had 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. So he was everywhere tonight. It was a quiet night for him scoring wise, but hey, you're not gonna have a 20-point night every night, But as long as he was active everywhere else, that's all that matters. Anthony Simons, 18 points off the bench, 7 of 16 shooting, 4 of 10 from 3, 2 assists and a steal. He actually had early minutes tonight. Peyton Pritchard did pick up 2 quick fouls in the first, I want to say 2 minutes. So that's why, for 30 minutes for Anthony Simons, he came in early. And when he did come in early, he started off slow, but he got back on track. So, that's what you love to see. I know Amari, I've said it, and really Amari has said it also while being on live. Anthony Simons should start and Peyton Pritchard should come off the bench. It would, that right there might be, a lot more easier for the team because Anthony Simons is better in a starting role. Peyton Pritchard is, far better in a reserve role, coming off the bench, being the sixth man. It worked out well tonight. It did. But don't be surprised if, sometime during the year, Anthony Simons does start. That would be far better, truthfully. It would be far better. But overall, everybody did their job tonight. Everybody did their job. And then as well off the bench, Sam Hauser, 1 of 8 from the field, so he only had 3 points. 3 points and 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. Luke Garza had a bucket. Hugo Gonzalez, the rookie, had 5 points. And Jordan Walsh saw some action tonight. 7 points off 3 or 4 shooting, 7 rebounds. So I tell you, this is a game that a lot of guys got in, which they should. And hey, they were able to burn off some calories. So more power to them. Good win for the Celtics. The Celtics do take on the Orlando Magic on Friday and on Sunday. So they're playing 2 games in Orlando this weekend. Friday will be a play-in game. Sunday's just a regular game. But, Orlando's not off to a hot start either. They're in a similar boat to the Celtics. The issue with them, obviously, has been shooting. I tuned into them last night. They played the Atlanta Hawks without Trae Young, and they beat them. The Hawks ended up winning, but the Hawks beat them by damn near 20 points. So, this is going to be a get-right game for Orlando when they do play the Celtics. It's going to be a battle. You got to worry about Paolo Banchero. You got to worry about Franz Wagner. You got to worry about Desmond Bane, their offseason acquisition, as well as Jalen Suggs. He's a defensive menace. So, yeah, this is going to be another battle. I still take my money on the Celtics. They're now 4-5 on the year. But, they just have to find some more consistency. They do. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what happens on Friday. Should be another good game. They got to win it. They do, because it is a play-in game. So, yeah, let's make it 2-0 in the play-in. Let's make it 2-0 in the play-in. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me take a look at the comments. I see my guy Mari tuning in. Hell yeah. You already know he was in the comments. Let's see. He said Pats didn't really need to do to overachieve. I fuck with it. That's fair. No bullshit. No bullshit. The team is smooth where it's at. I just wish they would have added, at least on the defensive side at the deadline, at least to add in some depth. Obviously getting rid of Kyle Duggar and Keon White. But, at the same time, I'm not mad they didn't do anything, but something could have been done. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I like where our team is right now. He also said, a team we should beat had to redeem ourselves after the Jazz loss, which is another team we should beat. Exactly. Risha Shea better. No, that's fact. Nah, Risha Shea got crazy last night. He did. JB Cook tonight. Hell yeah. You already know he did. I can live with 2 of 4 from 3. No bullshit. Absolutely right. We need Simons as a starter. Hell yeah. I'm going to tune into the comments now because now I ain't sharing my screen. I was looking at the screen a little bit, so my fault, chat. Jay Walsh had a good game. Shout out to Jay Walsh. That's Amari's guy. That nigga Amari was in the club with that little nigga. No bullshit, nigga. They was turning up last year, Kaish. Hell yeah. Magic been a little underwhelming, so hopefully we can upset. That's a fact. No bullshit. Shout out to my nigga E in the comments, my nigga Amari. Hell yeah. But no, he's absolutely right though, chat. Like, the Magic right now, they're not necessarily in the same boat as the Celtics, but they're a team right now that considerably is still young. Paolo Banchero has only been in the league for 4 years. Franz Wagner's been in the league for 5 years, right? Let's see. Yeah, exactly. So 4 years and 5 years, respectfully. So it's like, same thing with freaking Desmond Bane. He's been in the league for 6 years, and quite frankly, I will say Desmond Bane was on this Celtics team. He was a Celtic. He was drafted by the Celtics. He was drafted by the Celtics in 2020. He was in the same draft as Peyton Pritchard, Aaron Nesmith. The Celtics had 3 first-round picks that year. Desmond Bane was one of them. He was actually one of them. So, it was a very short-lived stint because the nigga ain't even play a game. But, he's turned out to be a smooth player, for real. He was smooth on the on the Grizzlies. So far on this Magic team, he's been smooth, but he's still trying to get acclimated. But that's their big three right now. That's the Magic's big three. They're still trying to get used to each other, and to play him early on in the season, you feel me? This is a team that you can get one over. Real shit. Like, you should be able to beat this team with the guys that you have due to the Celtics themselves having way more experience as a team. You feel me? So they just have to be prepared. It's going to be a dogfight. Paolo Banchero is no slouch, same as Franz Wagner, same as Desmond Bane. Those besides Paolo, because he's been to the All-Star game, you have three, borderline All-Star and two borderline All-Stars on that team. So, they're going to put up a fight. Jamal Mosley is going to make sure these guys play well defensively. They're going to want to try to get a win. You feel me? They lost to the Celtics in the first round of the playoffs last year. So, it's going to be a little personal for guys like Paolo and Franz. You feel me? So, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. He said, yes, sir. Jay Walsh bought a Jay Walsh. I can't even talk, nigga. God damn. Jay Walsh bought a brother a bottle. Nigga got him crazy, nigga. Shit. Nigga, Jay Walsh got that nigga right. He said, no bullshit. Bane has been so underwhelming to me. Like, no cap. I'm not sure how the Magic are going to make up for the lack of point guard play. They don't have a pure facilitator. No, that's a fact. Excuse me, chat. Yeah, I'm telling you. See, this weather got me fucked up. No bullshit. Shout out to everybody tuning in, though. But yeah, like, honestly, with Desmond Bane, like right now, it was easier for him on the Grizzlies to be like that second guy. Well, really, that the second or third option on certain nights. Mainly the third option because he had John and freaking Jaren Jackson Jr. But when Ja was hurt, he was one of the main guys averaging close to 25 points a game. Like, this kid can score, but at the same time, like, Jalen Suggs hasn't truly impressed me as a guard since he's been in the NBA. And I'm not saying that, like, the nigga sucks. Like, he don't suck. It's just what I saw from him in college on that Gonzaga team that was 38-0 or 38-39-0, whatever, lost in the national championship game to Baylor. The way how he was playing in college, I really thought that he was going to be a guy that when he came into the league, he was going to be like I'm trying to think of a good comparison. Like, truthfully, I thought he was going to be a Jason Kidd type of guy. A guy who could score, a guy who could play defense, and a guy who can facilitate. Now, he doesn't have to necessarily get 10 assists a game. You feel me? But I thought he was going to be that Jason Kidd type of player. Now, I know he's also dealt with injuries. I know, also, like, shit happens. And it's not too late for him. Quite frankly, it's still early for him to continue to develop to be a guy like that in due time. Damn, excuse me. But I feel like the Magic really need a guy like they kind of need like a Tyrese Halliburton type of guy in terms of really facilitating. Because if that were to be added to a team like that, freaking guys like Paolo, Wagner, Desmond Bane, they'd be far more impactful because you have a guy that can set them up to score, even though they can get their own buckets with the ball in their hand. Like, if that was an added, if that was an added necessity to that team, that's a team right there that could be far more deadlier. No bullshit. But Jalen Suggs, he's a fine player. He just hasn't really lived up to the expectations that, at least from what I thought of, and I'm pretty sure even like Amari as well and others had thought of. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see. Amari also said Banchero is a fantastic scorer and ball handler, but his passing IQ isn't all the way there, and he talks too much shit for that one playoff series he had to carry. I understand his skills. No, exactly. Facts. That's a fact. Bane is so eliminated too because he doesn't attack the basketball as some other as some of the other twos in the league. Not facts. That's true. Yeah, his shooting is more. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, his shooting and athleticism saves him. No, that's a fact. It does. He has a big body. He's you feel me, like, for and mind you, he's not short or nothing like that. Like, he's not the tallest nigga, but I tell you, like, the body he has right now, he should have, far more. He should, like, what's the word I'm gonna say? He should be a better slasher, I should say, because of his body. He's not a skinny nigga. He's a brolic nigga. Like, he should be able to get you points in the paint by driving. If I were him, because again, he's still young enough, I would, in the off seasons, whatever, try to work on that, because if he can add more of that to his game, I know he's been, a 25-point scorer before, but nigga, he can get you 30 or more. Not consistently, but like, he could have far more 30-point nights if he was able to really get buckets going to the hole. No bullshit. Like, that's the thing. He said the thing about J Kidd is that he had an array of moves inside the three-pointer, and he used it exactly. No, he did. He was crafty. He was crafty as shit. Shout out to J Kidd, nigga. Shout out to Dave. That nigga was tough. Hall of Famer, bro. Hall of Famer. But that nigga, if you were old enough to really witness J Kidd, like, at least for me, I know when I was born, he was on the Suns. But if you saw J Kidd on the Nets, and even his first couple years back with the Mavericks, nigga, that nigga was tough, for real. He said his ball handle is damn near terrible. I agree. Nah, facts. Yeah, no, this nigga Desmond. Yeah, facts. That's a fact, nigga. If he can drink, nigga, he's still smooth. But if he can do a little more to add to that nature, nigga, Desmond Bane, nigga, he might be that nigga for real, like, real shit, nigga. Like, and that's I fuck with the nigga. You feel? I wish he stayed. I wish the Celtics would have kept him. Like, the nigga could have been useful on this team. Like, he could have been nice. He could have been real nice on the Celtics, for real. But shit happens, nigga. And now he's an Orlando Magic, guys. You feel me? So, hey, more power to Desmond Bane. But we'll see what happens on Friday, though. We'll see what happens. He said J Kidd was a bigger Steve Nash. Yes, exactly. Exactly. No bullshit. And that nigga Steve Nash was tough, too. Shout out to Steve Nash. By the way, if y'all don't know, and y'all should know if y'all really know ball history, J Kidd and Steve Nash were traded for each other. J Kidd obviously started his career with the Mavericks. Steve Nash actually started his career with the Suns. They were traded for each other. You feel me? Somehow, some way, they ended up back on the same team. You feel me? On their respective teams, the teams that they started up. So, yeah. MVP Steve Nash was a Sun early on in his career, if y'all didn't know that. No bullshit. But yeah, chat. Hell yeah. Shout out to Amari in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's been tuning in. I appreciate y'all as always. Again, it's going to be a quick live. Not going to be too crazy. But that's it for the Celtics. Yeah, again, we'll see what happens Friday. But real shit, the Celtics got to get a win on Friday. No bull. If they were to lose, again, it's not the end of the world per se. It's really not. But nigga, like, it's still the Celtics, nigga. It's still, they're still, it's not like they didn't win a championship 2 years ago. They just don't have that guy. That guy that we all know. He's hurt. So, you feel me? No bullshit. Shout out to Con Ron. He said Nash was a killer too. Nah, he was. That nigga Steve Nash. Hell yeah. Shout out to Connor, bro. My nigga Con Ron. Hell yeah. Shout out to the Bay State Media, cuz. Nigga Steve Nash. Bring me back to my childhood, bro. Nigga Steve Nash was tough. For real. For real. But yeah, chat. Excuse me. What was I going to get into? Oh! The trade deadline. The trade deadline, Kaish. You feel me? I'm going to run through some of the trades. I'm not going to do all of them. I ain't going to do all of them. Real shit. I'm not. But I'm going to do the notable ones. Some of the ones that you should know if you are tuned in, like a nigga like me, like a nigga like Amari. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you tune into this shit, even Con Ron, shout out to Con Ron, tune into this shit, you should already know. You should already fucking know. For real. But yeah, chat. So this is, let me go back up. That way, at least I can show y'all. So this is the 2025 NFL trade deadline. The biggest winners and losers. Shout out to Judy Batista for this article on NFL.com. Right. So let's get to some of this. So the winners. First winner. Naturally, this didn't happen at the deadline, but it happened right before the start of the season, just a few days before the season, as it says right in the first fucking the first sentence, just days before this regular season kicked off, literally, because it did. We can revisit, the Micah Parsons being traded to the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, he was traded for Kenny Clark and a first round pick. He was traded for Kenny Clark and a first round pick. Excuse me. Naturally, it's worked out for them, so you can kind of consider that. You feel me? It hasn't worked out for Dallas. Dallas, defense-wise, they're ass. They're so ass, nigga. Like, that shit is so fucking ass for real, bro. Like, Conrad also said NFL deadline low-key was dead other than a few, exactly. Yeah, it wasn't too crazy, but, like, the guys that should have been traded, like the, as it says right here, Indianapolis Colts and Sauce Gardner, guys like that you actually, you know what? Real shit. This one was a stunner. This one right here was a stunner, but it's not a surprise that he was traded because the Jets are just breaking shit down for real. No Diddy. But yeah, like that was really the stunner of everything. That right there, but like for the most part, like it wasn't like a crazy NFL deadline. It wasn't like oh shit. Like this is the only thing that was kind of like that, but everything else was kind of dead. Real shit. Like it wasn't nothing crazy, Now if Myles Garrett would have got traded somehow, some way, yeah, then this deadline probably will be one of the most unforgettable deadlines. But a guy like Sauce Gardner going to the Colts, as it says in the first sentence, real shit, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. And truthfully, it's a win-win because, one, the Colts get a corner that's obviously one of the top corners in the NFL. The last couple years, not necessarily has been rough for Sauce Gardner. And it's not to really say that his play has dipped off completely, because it hasn't. But when you're on a defense that sucks and there's no help behind you, like your safeties aren't the greatest, your other corner isn't the greatest, even the vibes themselves aren't the greatest, like you can kind of struggle a little bit. But in this situation right here, you're on it. You now goes to a team that's 7-2, that's about to take on the Falcons in Berlin. Just to throw that out there. You're on a playoff team now. You're on a team that, if everything continues to go well, is going to be in the playoffs. You're also on a team that, defensive-wise, is far better. You feel me? You're in a system that Lou Amarello is now your defensive coordinator. He's done well as a defensive coordinator so far, even with the Bengals. Even though the Bengals weren't the greatest defense, but he did what he had to do. Now he has better players on his defense that they're striving, to look to really be one of the top units in the NFL. And adding a guy like Sauce Gardner, which they needed another corner because Charvarius Ward has been out, But when he comes back, nigga, that's a dynamic duo. Him, Gardner at the one and Charvarius Ward at the two Pro Bowl corners, like, nigga, like that's tough right there, And naturally, the Colts are going all in. They're trying to make a Super Bowl push. They traded 2 first-round picks and Adonai Mitchell, or A.D. Mitchell for some of y'all that know him, the wide receiver. He's going to the Jets. So they gave up some capital. They gave up a young player, but they got a guy who's going to be a fixture in their future. Remember, if you recall, Sauce Gardner in the offseason signed a lucrative contract, well over $100 million. So he's going to be on this team for the next few years. But again, he's on a team with Charvarius Ward. He's in a DB room, I should say, with Charvarius Ward, with Kenny Moore, one of the top slot corners in the NFL, with Cam Bynum. You feel me? He's in a far better situation. But He just has to live up to the hype that he's already lived up to. Now he's in a better situation, better vibes that now his play should be able to take off like it did before. No bullshit. Connor also said, Henderson still on the Bengals had me laughing. Not facts. Like, he should have got traded. I don't know what the Bengals are doing, bro. Real shit. I don't know why. Like, he's going to be a free agent in the offseason. Why not get rid of him, nigga? Like, you're not going anywhere this year, respectfully. Like, it didn't make sense to keep him. And really, you asking for a third-round pick, you could have went lower. Like, a pick's a pick. Like, you're not going to pay the full money if you were to trade him. You're going to pay half that contract. Like, you feel me? It didn't make sense, real shit. But overall, yeah, the Colts were one of the winners. Colts were one of the winners. The next team on the list. Excuse me. Damn, I gotta blow my nose. My fault, chat. I wish I had tissues. The Seattle Seahawks are the third winner. And you know why? They added Rashid Shaheed from the New Orleans Saints. And quite frankly, this is an underrated move. Because naturally, it makes the offense better, but it also low-key makes this offense scarier. No cap. Like, if you tune into the NFL, chat, you've seen what Jackson Smith-Njigba has done this year, especially in the last month and a half. 100-yard game after 100-yard game after 100-yard game. He's almost at 1,000 yards. He could very well get to 1,000 yards next week, right? Sam Darnold has looked every bit that he's worth that contract that the Seahawks gave him in the offseason. Last year wasn't a fluke year for Sam Darnold. He's elevated himself even more this year so far to start the year. Cooper Kupp isn't the same player as he was before, but he's been a good veteran presence. But this nigga, Rashid Shaheed, oh my God, this nigga is going to stretch the field for the Seahawks. This guy is a burner. He could do it in the return game too, but this guy has speed. He has legit speed. Like, everybody's going to look towards Jackson Smith-Njigba for a lot of his catches and shit like that, which is fine because he's earned it for the defense to key on him. But if they key on him so much, Rashid Shaheed's going to be blowing by a lot of niggas into the end zone. Like, this is a great move by the Seahawks. This is a great fucking move. I'm glad they did it. Rashid Shaheed's going to thrive in this role. He will be a free agent next year. But if I'm the Seahawks, especially in the offseason, I try to extend him. I try to give him a contract, real shit. Because if it all works out now, naturally, nothing's been played, no games have been played yet with him on the team. But if everything works out, he has to be a fixture for the future for these Seahawks. And let alone they have Torrey Horton too, the rookie Torrey Horton from Colorado State. He's been a dog too. He's been shitting. So their receiver room right now is tough. It's tough. Real shit. Seahawks really won at the deadline. One of the winners for real. I will say that. Let's see. Any other winners? I know if y'all see, the Philadelphia fans. Oh yeah, Philadelphia. Yeah, I guess you could talk about Philadelphia. I mean, obviously they got Tank Bigsby early on in the year. Okay, cool. They picked up Michael Carter from the Jets. He's a slot cornerback. They picked up Jair Alexander from the Ravens. Naturally, Jair Alexander hasn't really played much due to him being injured, but also, like healthy scratches and shit. He's not the same nigga that he was before. Or at least he wasn't the same. I'm not, you know what, Chad, real shit. I'm not going to say that he's not the same guy from before. I'm not. But because of injuries and shit, I mean, shit, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just contradicting myself. Yeah, he's just not due to injuries. But he's still a valuable corner in this league. And I would hope that him being in Philadelphia now can get him back to at least being 50% of the guy that he was before. You feel me? He's not going to be a starter. Actually, well, he might be a star. He might end up starting, but yeah, like they did it for depth. He has experience also, so he should be able to help the leadership role in that. The one intriguing one, I will say, Jalen Phillips, coming to the Eagles from Miami for a 3rd-round pick. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. I believe he only has like 2 or 3 sacks on the year. Naturally, he's had a couple injuries that have been tough throughout his career. He does reunite with Vic Fangio, and he had a lot of success with Vic Fangio. Like it says, 6.5 sacks in just 8 games in 2023 before he tore his Achilles. If they can get some production out of Jalen Phillips and the guys that they already have, and fucking, and Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Jalen Hunt, freaking, I'm blanking on the other kid, Nolan Smith, like that'll just add to it. You feel me? So decent moves by them, decent moves by the Eagles. They're still going all in, naturally they just won a Super Bowl last year. So, they should be, they're still going to continue to do something. Conrad also said Sauce will do his thing. I feel like, facts. I feel it too. I feel like Sauce is going to bounce back. I feel like Sauce is going to be the player that he was before. Again, he's in a much better situation. The vibes are a lot higher in Indy. So, yeah, I feel the same way. Michael Carter just going to be a good depth. Facts. Yeah, that's a fact. Now, Michael Carter should do well. He should do well in Philly. He's going to mainly be in the slot, I would assume. But, you still have Cooper DeJean as well that plays, naturally in the slot. He can play outside too, but adding that depth in Michael Carter is going to help that defense a lot because, the secondary has struggled, this year. They really have. So it'll help them. It'll help them for real. Let's see. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Naturally, they had, they traded for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith late in the offseason for Minka Fitzpatrick. So, that comes into that. But they did get Kyle Duggar from the Patriots, which we all know. He played all but 1 snap in last week's win over the Colts. He had 4 tackles. I didn't know that. He actually received the game ball for being, for playing, playing well for them. And quite frankly, I tuned in a little bit. Kyle Duggar looked a little bit like Kyle Duggar from before. He really did. So I'm glad he's in a better situation. Happy for the guy. I don't hate Kyle Duggar. It's just the last couple of years, it was just tough. It was tough on him in New England. Joe Flacco. Yeah, we don't really have to discuss this. Joe Flacco, for that Cincinnati offense, he's elevated them. He's shown what. Actually, I should say he's shown what he's always been in this offense for Cincinnati in replacing Joe Burrow until he gets back from injury. But obviously, the problem with the Bengals right now is their defense. So, but Joe Flacco's been playing great. Jacoby Myers, former Patriot, he asked for a trade from the Raiders. They finally did trade him to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 4th-round pick and a 6th-round pick. He's actually gonna look to be there for a little bit. The Jaguars believe in him enough that they send those picks for him, to keep him for the long run. He's a good player. He was great. He was good here in New England. He was good in Las Vegas for his first couple years. Naturally, this year just hasn't worked out, but he should do fine with the Jaguars. Now we get to the losers, Jets fans. Now, naturally, we talked about fucking Sauce Gardner already, chat. But they also pulled off another stunner. They traded Quinnen Williams to the Dallas Cowboys for a 2nd-round pick. And actually, no, I believe a 1st-round pick, a 2nd-round pick, and Mozzie Smith. So, Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, 2 fixtures of that Jets defense, no longer with the Jets. Sauce is in Indy. Quinnen's in Dallas. So, it's they're starting to break off that team, and now it's really going to look like a tank job now for a high draft pick, presumably possibly the number 1 or number 2 pick. So, yeah, not much to say on that. Obviously, Jets fans are upset about it, but it is what it is. The Jets suck. There's no way to sugarcoat that shit. They suck. Breece Hall was a loser because he did not get traded. Quite frankly, he should have got traded. The Chiefs were in on him in the final minutes, in the final, I should say, in the wee hours of the trade deadline. But ultimately, it didn't get done. The Jets wanted the 3rd round pick for him. The Chiefs offered a 4th round pick for him. Obviously, the Jets weren't having it. So Breece Hall is still a New York Jet, I should say. He wants out, though. He does not want to be there. So, he just has to see it. He has to stick it out for the rest of the year. But I feel for you, bro. Incomplete. Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, obviously, they traded for Quinnen Williams. They also traded for Logan Wilson. They traded for him for a 7th round pick. Overall, their defense, even adding Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson, I don't know if it's going to be far improved. Quinnen Williams should help out, in the pass rush role. Logan Wilson should help out a little bit in the linebackers, but ultimately that defense is still going to get shredded. It's still going to get shredded for real. So, and yeah, again, also it's incomplete with the Jets. But regardless, yeah. The Cowboys, I don't know. The Cowboys defense-wise, just it ain't it this year. It's not. They suck. Real shit, they suck. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, chat. But that's the moves right there for the NFL trade deadline involving the rest of the league and involving the NFL, everybody else. Now, let's get to these fucking Patriots. Let's get to these fucking Patriots, God. Now, you can tell that this helmet is fucking small as shit. But I'm going to still rock it. Chat. You see the logo. You see the fucking logo. I look like a nigga. Real shit. Anybody tuning in? Y'all can, honestly, I'm trying to give y'all the laughs because I look ridiculous. But nigga, I look like a nigga from Backyard Football. Real shit. If y'all know what Backyard Football is, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what fucking Backyard Football is, nigga, you're a fucking lame. Real shit. You're fucking lame. But obviously the Patriots, I had to pause real quick because, I just have to, live with it. It ain't, I'm not mad or nothing, but, they didn't do absolute shit at the trade deadline. They didn't do shit. It's not surprising, though. It's not surprising at all. Quite frankly, we kind of knew, this was going to happen. We kind of knew nothing was going to happen at the trade deadline for the Patriots. They're in year one. This is considered year one for them as, in the new regime, right? They're going to, keep their, they're going to, they traded Kyle Duggar and Keon White away for some draft picks. But they're going to continue to build in the draft. Now, if they do make a move, it'll probably be in the offseason for a trade. It might be. But overall, this is a team that wants to build with draft prospects. They want to try to draft well, to build, to bring in the young guys, to develop the young guys for the years to come. So, it doesn't hurt that they didn't do anything in the deadline. I'm not really mad. I'm not going to crash out about it because they're still in a good place. But I will say, it's kind of tough to do anything in the trade deadline when a certain team doesn't want to trade with you due to pettiness. The Tennessee Titans did not want to engage in trade talks with the New England Patriots because their owner, and before I continue this, right, let me fucking pull this shit up. And let me pull this shit up, chat, right? And let me read this to you because I'd rather read it to you word for word, chat. That's what I'd rather do. Real shit. I'd rather do that. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, by the way. I know I look fucking ridiculous. I know I do. Let me share this tab instead. Word. There we go. Okay, I agree. All right. This is from Bleach. Oh, hold on, Chad. Hold on. What happened? Okay, word. My fault, chat. All right, this is from Bleacher Report. Titans reportedly refused to trade with Patriots before deadline amid Mike Vrabel beef. Written by Scott Pulisic, right? Now, the article was written by him, but this is a quote from Mike Giardi of the Boston Sports Journal. He said, and actually, before I read it, chat, let me do this. There you go. Make it easier. That way, at least it's a little bit easier for y'all to read. From Mike Giardi. I was told there has been some conversation league-wide that Tennessee might be unwilling to make deals with New England because the owner, Amy Adams Strunk, continues to think too much about how things ended with Vrabel and is not inclined to help his new team. Like, are you fucking kidding me, chat? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? For real? Are you like, bro? Let me take off this fucking helmet. Let me take off this helmet. I hope y'all got your laughs in, by the way, with that helmet. Real shit. I haven't worn that helmet in over 20 years. But real shit, chat, right? Real shit. And hold on. Conrad also said something. Titans haven't been shit for a while. Are we really that shocked? That's petty. He was the one who fired them, right? Exactly. Thank you. You did Conrad just fucking proved my point. Thank you, Conrad. Now let me get into this spiel. So you mean to tell me Miss Amy Adams Strunk, you fired this nigga, right? You fired him. You have say. You have the final say on what goes on since you're the owner. It's, the GM and whatnot. GM head coaches make decisions, but you're on board, right? You have the final say for shit to get done. You fired him. Like Conrad said too, you fired him, right? He lands a new job. No, actually, let me take it back. You fired him. You let Rand Carthen, the GM at the time, let him go too. Y'all are both on board in that. You hired Brian Callahan, right? Shit didn't work out last year. You let go of Rand Carthen. Boom. You hired Mike Borgonzi, who's a Massachusetts native. Shout out to him. He's from Everett. From the Chiefs, right? Originally from the Chiefs as well. You hired Mike Borgonzi to be your GM, right? Okay, cool. Weeks into the season, the team still sucks. You fire Brian Callahan, right? Now, naturally, when all that went on, right, the latter part of what I just said, Mike Vrabel was hired by the Patriots, and now they're 7-2, right? Now, because you're so fucking petty on his team doing well, they're doing similar, well to the point that how it looked for you guys his first 4 years there, I should say. You mean to tell me that because you fired him and he's doing well in another organization, you don't want to trade? You don't want to help? You don't want to help your team out by getting rid of some contracts you don't want for some draft capital that you need right now? Like, for real? Like, come on, nigga. You don't have to be that petty, nigga. It's not like the Patriots are in the AFC South. They're in the AFC East. They're in the same conference as you, but they're not in the same division. You don't have to play them twice a year. You might get them once every couple years. Or if you suck, like the Patriots did last year, you get them, back-to-back years. But, nigga, you're not going to see the Patriots every fucking year. There's guys on this team that you don't want anymore. And you had a team that would gladly take those guys for their benefit also, and you don't want to give them up because you're fucking petty? Like, come on, nigga. Do better. Like, real shit. Don't be mad at him because he's doing well. Nigga, be mad at yourself because you gave up on him too early, nigga. You had him there for 6 years. 6 fucking years. 7 years, actually, 7 seasons. But you mean to tell me because, you wanted to go in a different direction, you didn't believe in the nigga, you wanted to go, feel me? Like there was negative vibes and shit like that. Why were there negative vibes? Why? Like, you know what? It is what it is. I don't know what went on in fucking Tennessee before Mike Vrabel got fired. I did hear that, you know, he was more in control in terms of roster decisions and shit like that. But nigga, he's the head coach, right? My fault, Chad. He's the head coach. Like, shouldn't he be the one, like how Bill Belichick was here for 25 years? To be, 24 years, 5 years, whatever it was, to be the man, to have say in what goes on in the team, to construct the team to your magnitude. Like, bro, come on, bro. You didn't have to be that fucking petty, for real, for real. Like, you could have got more draft capital. You feel me? You could have got rid of some contracts you didn't want to keep paying. Like, come on, bro. It's so fucking stupid. And quite frankly, that's why your fucking team's in a dumpster fire right now. Real shit. Simple. You guys are 1-8. Like, you could have bettered yourself by getting rid of some pieces and obtaining some capital, but you don't want to do that. All right, that's fine. Nigga, we still up. Them guys wearing with this logo right here, with that logo right there, come on, bro. Come on. We're up. They're up. We're on the up, nigga. We don't give a fuck about them Titans. Them Titans are sorry as shit. You know what? And I'm going to say on my behalf for the Titans, Cam Ward, I feel for you. I feel for you. But this is your opportunity as a player, as a quarterback, to grow with this team and have them see the better days and the brighter lights. But right now, the situation that you're in is fucked up. So, hopefully they can get on track soon enough. Had something in my hand. Hopefully they can get on track soon enough. But overall, yeah, they're a dumpster fire, nigga. No bullshit. No bullshit. Titans must be the Pats colluded for Vrabes to be this level of petty. Exactly. They, it is. It is. And it's fucked up. But you know what, nigga? We up. We up. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm so happy that Mike Vrabel is back in New England. Great player for us back in the day. An even better coach right now. No bullshit. He has them boys rolling. And I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for what's going to continue to go on if all goes well. Final note, though. Final note. The Patriots did actually make a move at the deadline. It didn't involve a trade, but they did sign. They did sign somebody notable. Colorado said Titans sorry as fuck. Exactly, they are. They so are, bro. But the Patriots did sign wide receiver Brendan Rice to the practice squad. Now, if you don't know who Brendan Rice is, he played wide receiver at USC. He was with Caleb Williams. He was drafted, I believe, in the 7th round last year to the San Diego, to the Los Angeles Chargers. The last name is, similar also, naturally, because he played wide receiver. That's because his father is the Pro Football Hall of Famer and arguably, if not, the greatest wide receiver ever, Jerry Rice. Brendan Rice is Jerry Rice's son. So, the Patriots added somebody with a little bit of pedigree to their name, their last name. And he's on the practice squad. He's a big body kid. He got some strength to him. But I don't think he's NFL ready yet. He has to develop more. I think in this situation, I think the Patriots will be able to develop him. It should go well. He'll be in a room with Todd Downing. He will be in a room with Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte, Efton Chisholm, Kyle Williams, Mac Hollins. He'll be in a good receiving room with some veterans. And even DeMario Douglas. Got to show love to him. Shout out to DeMario. But he's in a good situation. He's going to learn a lot. He's going to be a guy who hopefully they can develop him. He should be here for, at least to the end of the year. bearing if somebody else signs him or they release him from the practice squad. But hey, this is a kid that, you could develop. He has the intangibles to be a wide receiver in the NFL. He just has to work on his route running. He has to work on his ball skills. He just has to work on being a pro, on being being a more polished receiver. But I like the move. Again, a young guy has ways to go, but shit, Adam, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. But naturally, chat, the Patriots do play the Buccaneers. I had to think about it real quick. They do travel to Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Jim Nance, Tony Romo will be on the call, so it is going to be a big game on CBS at 1 o'clock. It's the first time we've seen Jim Nance and Tony Romo since the Patriots played the Vegas Raiders in Vegas 2 years ago. So at least we know now that we got them back on a call. That's how you know the Pats are legit. That's how you know the Pats are far improved, that they're something worth watching. We'll talk about that in the coming days, a preview of that in the coming days. It's going to be a big game. Quite frankly, I will say right now, they should be rocking white on white for their uniforms on Sunday. That's what I believe they're going to go that route. They should go that route. Real shit. That's the route they should go. But enough of me, chat. That's been it. Great talk on the Celtics today. Great talk on the deadline. Great talk on what the Pats didn't do at the deadline, but also what to look forward to in Brendan Rice. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to Conron in the chat. Shout out to Amari in the chat. Shout out to the Bay State Media for pulling up on a nigga. I appreciate y'all as always. But with that being said, this has been another edition of What the Hell's Happened in Sports. It's your boy, the one and only NERO. And I'll be back with another one very soon. Hopefully all TV tuned in at all. Shout out to all TV. He's gonna be featured very, very soon on here. So be prepared for that. But yeah, chat, that's it for me. Gotta say peace to y'all. You feel me? I hope y'all get a good night's sleep. Enjoy the rest of your night. And we will be back here very, very soon. I love y'all, chat. Peace. TikTok, TikTok, tick. You're gonna sound like TikTok.